My iPhone 14 Pro Max is finally here, and here are 5 things that I hated about it. Before I get into it, make sure to also watch the 5 things that I loved about the iPhone 14 Pro Max in case you haven't watched it yet. The link is listed down below in the description. Also, if you're new here, my name is Marina. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you like the content, and also please give me a thumbs up. This video is sponsored by SetApp, an incredible cross-platform suite which gives you access to over 200 iOS and macOS applications without any additional cost. You only need to pay for your subscription and choose the apps that you'd like to use. Now, a great benefit is that you can start a free trial when you use the link listed down below in the description. Number 1, the minimal focus distance took a step back and changed from 5.9 inches to 7.8 inches. So all the close-up shots that I like to take, I basically cannot take anymore without using the macro mode or the 2x digital zoom. If you're not familiar with this term, the minimal focus distance is pretty much the closest the camera can focus to an object. So if I'm right here photographing this Funko Pop, for example, using my iPhone 13 Pro Max, I would do this and I would take a close-up shot. Right now on the iPhone 14 Pro Max, using the wide camera, I cannot do this anymore. I have to be right here. So it's almost 2 inches. I would say it is a lot, and it's pretty frustrating. So in order for you guys to have a better idea of why I don't like this, I have a few examples for you. So this photo was taken with the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and this was taken with the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So it does actually look like I'm photographing with a wider lens, and that's not what I want when I'm trying to get a close-up shot. Here's another example. This was taken with the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and this was taken with the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Feel free to let me know down below in the comments what's your favorite photo and if you agree with me or not, but this has been bothering me since day one. Number 2, USBC. To be honest, I knew that this wasn't happening in 2022, but it's time, Apple. We all want it. I'm sure you would love to have less cable varieties at home. Yes, we have been hearing that the iPhone 15 will get USB-C in 2023, and I really hope it does. Also, the European Union signed off on a law that requires producers of phones, tablets, cameras, headphones, and other electronic devices to switch to USB-C by the end of 2024. So I really do believe that it is happening sooner rather than later. But iPhone 14, that could have been an option. If you're interested in more information about the transition to USB-C, Apple is actually pushing back on the shift, and they said that strict regulation mandating just one type of connector stifles innovation rather than encouraging it, which in turn will harm consumers in Europe and around the world. I do believe that they're actually ready for that transition, but of course they won't say anything at the moment, so the only thing we can do is wait. And there's a lot to talk about the USB-C transition. I'm not going to get into all of the details in this video, but what I'm saying here is that Lightning is okay, but I was hoping to see an USB-C port. Now, let's talk about the notch, which is number 3. Don't get me wrong, I do like the dynamic island. It's pretty much a notch that works. It's pretty fun and incredible. I still get surprised with the new animations and everything. However, this is 2022, and I'm pretty sure that we could have an iPhone without any pill-shaped cutout or anything like that. So the Face ID sensors and the front-facing camera could be under the display. I would have loved to see that. So I can say that I hate still having a notch. According to Ross Young, which is a display analyst with a track record of almost 100%, this is happening on the iPhone 16 Pro, so unfortunately we will need to wait a little longer to see that. Number 4, I hate the weight. I knew that it was going to be heavy. I previously owned the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which was also heavy, but I was just hoping to have a lighter iPhone. Yes, you can tell me, but Marina, you want a bigger device. It will be heavier. And I know that. But let me quickly compare the iPhone to other smartphones. The Pixel 7 Pro, for example, is 22 grams lighter than the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus is 45 grams lighter, and the S22 Ultra is 12 grams lighter. So I think you get my point. What I'm criticizing here is not that it's heavy, but it doesn't get any lighter. And whenever I'm working on my iPhone for, let's say, 3-4 hours, I get tired of it, and my wrists, they start hurting. So that's why it bothers me. We want a lighter iPhone, Apple. Now, last but not least, this is probably not a huge deal for a few or the majority of you, but I really hate that I cannot use my iPhone 13 Pro Max case on the 14 Pro Max. So just so you guys can have an idea, this is the iPhone 13 Pro Max silicone case by Apple, and if I try to put it on the iPhone 14 Pro Max, this is how it looks. It's pretty terrible. I definitely understand that a case wouldn't fit a redesigned iPhone, but the iPhone 14 Pro Max is pretty much identical to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The camera module is a lot bigger, so that is why actually we cannot use the case, but I would just love to be able to use my older cases. I know it's not a big deal, but it's just something I don't like. And these are the 5 things that I hated about the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments if you're new here. Once again, I am Marina. Welcome, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.